Let me introduce myself. My name is Yogesh, and I have more than 11 years of experience in IT industry. And my main skill set is C++, Python, data structures, algorithms, and network programming, circuit programming, and then file system and things like that. So yeah, today is just the first session for the Python. I'll just introduce what is Python and why we should use Python and what are all the benefits and how easy is it and what are all the things we can achieve. And then let's get into the basic data types and then we can continue. Okay. See, Python is basically a programming language. It's a kind of a scripting programming language. You don't have to compile. If you look at, you guys have any idea on C and C++ in other programming languages? Yeah. See, if you look at a C programming language, right, C or C++, what you have to write is first you have to write a program and then you have to build it. Build in the sense you have to compile it and then you have to link it to the appropriate libraries, whether it's a static library or dynamic library based on that. And then what you will get out of it is you will get a binary. Then you have to run that binary. Correct, right? So Python is not that way it works because it's not like a compile time language at all. It's a basically interpreted language. So you can just write a program and then on the fly you can run. But if you make any errors, you will on the fly you'll get the errors. But in case of C or C++, the compiler will crib if you make any syntax error, semantic error, because it does a lot of syntax check, semantics check, and then a lot of fails in the compilation, right? So it will catch errors then and there, and then it builds binary out of it. Here, it's while running itself. If you make any error while writing an instruction, whether it could be syntax error, it could be semantic error, it throws runtime. And C is a most of the Python modules are written in C only. And the main advantage, C is a very low-level programming language wherein you have to use your brain for each and everything. Even if you want to do some simple task, you have to apply your brain, you have to apply logic, and then build some libraries and then make use of it. So many of the modules, Python modules, they are written in C. And they've exposed an interface in the Python. So whenever if you run any command in the Python shell, it calls one of the C library function. See, I'll tell what is C, and then just as an introduction, and then what is C++, and what is Python. See, C++ is C is a complete low-level language. You can write drivers also in the C, and you can write application-level programming also in the C. So then, if the people started writing they started using C++. Yeah, you have any question? Okay. In C++, it's a purely object-oriented programming language. They brought some object-oriented concepts like class and then inheritance and a lot of things like that. So and then again in the C++ also we can't write device drivers and things like that. We can do all the application programming we can do in C++, and also we can access some of the hardware related stuff in C++ also. So by using that ideology, the C++ they kept in mind while developing a Python just because of the object-oriented stuff. So Python is a purely dynamic type language. In case of C, if you want to declare any variable, right, you have to say, hey, this data type is int, this data type is float, this data type is string, or whatever the data type. In Python, you don't have that headache at all. So you can randomly assign some value to the variable, but implicitly it will get to know what is the type. So that means for each type they have defined a class. Python is a purely object-oriented and dynamically typed programming language. So if you assign some value to some variable, so by looking at what value assigned to that variable, it identifies what is the type. So you don't have to worry about the types and a lot of things you don't have to worry. And here it's a very easy to write. If you have something in your mind, you should be able to apply the logic in Python very easily, and you can so that you can reduce your development time. So in Python, where and all we can use Python? Next question, right? So in Python, there are if you want to write any application, right? You can write in Python any kind of an application. Whatever you do at application layer, you can use Python for that one. You can't use even the low-level libraries also there. You can access file system. You can access the utilities like how much whatever the CPU consumption, how much CPU is being utilized, how much memory is being consumed. All those things you can get to know using Python. And and if you want to say, for example, there are various aspects of programming, right? So I can write some simple application. So wherein that application, need not interact with any of the databases and all. That also you can write in Python. Say I want to store some lot of I say for example I'm writing some database. So for example it's a college or academic project. So I want to store all the student details in my database. So some database is required. There are various databases are available, right? So can I have access to the database using Python? Yes, we can do. See, Python supports, there are a lot of databases, right? SQLite is there, MongoDB is there. Okay, there is some in-memory database called Redis is there, and there is a Postgres is there. See, a lot of Oracle databases there. All the databases you can access through Python. So what does it mean? So we can use a database programming also. We can do in Python. And what about, see, I want to write something, machine A want to talk to machine B that is located in a different geographical area or in a different area, right? So can I talk to the remote system using Python programming? That means what does it mean? It's a network programming, right? Can I write a network programming using Python? Yes, we can do, because it provides a way to create a socket, and then you can bind to. I mean, there are various ways to establish a connection, and various protocols are there with TCP, UDP. We can talk that. I mean, just it's an introduction. So can I do?
Excuse me. Hello. Excuse me.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Are we recording this session? Because I need a future reference also for me. We are recording, right?
Yeah, I think yes, we are recording. As far as I know, being recorded. Yeah.
Yeah. After the session, I think we'll be providing this link to download the video, right?
Yes, but I don't know how to download it. I'll get in touch with Abhishek. He'll help you to. I mean, he'll guide you how to download the videos. All the all the videos. I mean, all the sessions are being recorded.
Great. That's awesome. Yeah. For future reference, it will be very useful. Thank you. Yeah. Please go ahead. I'm sorry.
They are available. Yeah. Thank you. So yeah, even the network programming also we can do using Python. So and network programming is done. Socket programming, network, both are same. And can I access file system? See, there are a lot of utilities you can access file system. Okay, that means you can do file system, memory man. See, there are basically, if you look at it, there a file management system is there, memory management system is there, process management system is there, right? So you can achieve all of them using Python. And Python is easy to write, purely object oriented, as I told, and easy to debug also. And yeah, if you it's very easy to apply the logic which we have in mind into the Python instructions. See, and the one more advantage, what is the advantage of Python and why Python is getting popular, right? See, because Python is purely open source. So you can also contribute. If you find any bugs, see, all the, you take any kind of software cannot be 100% bug free, right? One or the other bugs will be there, or one or the other feature will be there, right? So you can contribute to the open source world also. And, a lot of Python, projects are there, like the Python 3, that is the one, that's core Python, you can leave that. And the OpenStack, you guys have heard anything related to OpenStack. OpenStack is something like, you can, whatever we create, VMs we create, right? See, there is a OpenStack software through which you can create an instance. You don't have to create a topology. See, for example, earlier, if you want to build any of the topology, right, what I have to do, I have to bring some, physical hardware box, connect it, and then you just log into the box and work on it. Now that era is gone, right? Now I can get one big server, and I can get one hypervisor, and I can just using virtualization, I can create a VMs out of it and just log into the VM and work on it. See, by OpenStack is something related to the project through which you can spawn VMs. I mean, the basically virtualization project that is also completely open source. People contributes, and then people utilize that by free. They download that for the educational purpose, for the various purpose, except that industry standard. Even in the industry also it's being used, but under various licenses. So, and there are some libraries. See, if I want to do some, the way we access in the browser, right? What we do, you do HTTP : some URL we give. That what does it mean? You using HTTP protocol, you're talking to some website, and whether you download, upload, or all the various transaction data, right? So there are some in Python also there are various libraries like request libraries there, URL lib libraries there. The various libraries are there. There are all are open source through which without using the browser, that means programmatically, you can talk to the website and you can talk to the server which is being hosted on some other machine, and then you can make all the transactions like download, upload, and all the various operations we can do. And yeah, that is what there are a lot of projects are being, open source projects are being available in the market, and people just can download, they can contribute, and even the process is very simple. Even at the end of the session, probably I'll take 1 hour, just one open source project, just download it, and I'll explain how to contribute and how to fix bugs. And even if we can take features and we can implement features also. And see, what are all the current Python versions are running? See, Python versions are, Python 2.x is also there, which is pretty old, and Python 3.x is also there. See, whatever people are writing new, say for example, I'm starting some new project today, I can pick Python 3 easily. But what about if I have a program, Python program, which is already built on Python 2.7? What should I do? See, I can't blindly directly use Python 3.x, right? Because many of the code will not work. Because in Python 3.x has a lot of advanced features, but few of the features they've deprecated. It will not support. So I have to port from Python 2 to Python 3. So it's again based on the, I need to decide whether is it okay to, migrate Python 2.7 to Python 3.7. What is the, cost? Cost in the sense how much time I need to effort, how much people has to work on that. Based on that, we can decide. So I mean, as far as I know, already in the industry, people still use Python 2.x if they have already built some application using 2.7. But if I'm writing something new, I can choose Python 3.x, because Python 3.x lot of advanced features. See, but it doesn't matter. Once you know whether 2.x or 3.x, once you learn the fundamental concepts, it's easy to learn or easy to migrate from one to other. Probably I'll take two sessions. One is Python 2.x and Python 3.x, and I'll explain what all the difference. And if it is a Python, there is some code in Python 2.7 how to port that Python 2.7 code to the Python 3.x code. That also we can talk. See, and you guys know how to install Python, and then okay, yeah, I would recommend you guys to install Python. And if you don't know how to install, probably I can explain. And once you install the Python, what I'm planning to do is we can talk, and then we can do some practical programming. Then that in that way, right? It's easy to grasp and easy to understand. That is why that is the way I'm planning to use. If you guys have any questions or concern, you can get back to me. That's okay, right?
Yes, sir.
Every day it's good to have some practical thing, and then if we should write programming and we should apply our logic into the Python instruction. That's a good way, I think. So that is what I'm planning to use that way. And also, if you feel that I'm talking too fast, and if you are unable to follow, please get back to me, and again I'll slow down. Okay, and Revant, Nagasai, Indubhushan, I hope you have Python installed. Am I correct, or how is it?
Yes, correct. Installed.
Okay, and which editor you guys use, and which operating system you guys use? Okay.
I'm Indubhushan. I'm using Windows 7 operating system in my personal laptop, and Python 3.6 I have installed, and yep, and most probably I'm using Eclipse onto it, or Python that it is giving its own
ID.
ID. Yep.
Okay, fine.
Yogesh, we have not installed Python in our PC.
Okay, Jen, what you can do is just go to the python.org.
Okay.
Okay, there, yeah,
It will help much if you could just visualize all the things, so it will be
fine, sure.
Yeah, to follow, just to install, and it will be great. Yep.
See, latest is Python 3.6.4, right? And also you can use Python 2.7.14. See, I would recommend you can either have 3.x or 2.x, and even it's okay if you have both. You know, we can compare what is not working in Python 2.7 and what is the advanced feature they've introduced in Python 3.6.x. See, just see, since I'm using Mac and Linux, I'm not using Windows, but it doesn't matter because you know it should work seamlessly. Only the way we install is different, because the Mac it's the way we install is different, and Windows it's the way we install is different. What you can do is you can just download the latest version for Windows. Okay, here other is there, right? See here, download other platform. 1 second. See, Windows is there, right? Python for Windows. You can click on that if you're using Python. See the latest 3.6.4 and 2.7.4. Just click on that and you download that. And inside that you will get the setup.exe. Just click on the setup.exe and follow the instructions. See, and other thing I have is, you know, Ubuntu Linux. If you have Linux, it's very straightforward. There are utilities like apt-get install and all. You can just do apt-get install Python. It starts installing. See, because it's already installed. Python 3 is also there, and then Python 2.7.6 also there. Guys, please can you install Python on your you know, desktop or laptop?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And as I told, you know, Python, you don't have to compile at all, and just you can run Python. There are many ways you can execute Python instructions. You can log into the Python shell and then start executing some of the commands. That is one way. See, if you are only executing some commands, that is the, you know, that is one of the way to do that. Say for example, I want to, you know, bundle some of the instructions and put it in the Python file and then execute it. How to do that? So in case of C or C++, what we do, you do a file name .c and you write a program and then you compile and then you build binary out of it. Right here also there is the extension is .py. Once you have a .py file, you can just do Python and then you can give the file name a.py or file name.py. See, and editors, okay, few people told that they're using idle, few people told that they use, you know, Eclipse, and editor is of your choice. A lot of, you know, if you look at this one, Python editors, right? There are a lot of Python editors are there. See, I think for anything related to Python, the good, you know, resource to, you know, refer is python.org. This is the official one, and all the, you know, documents are available in python.org. This is the best resource to use. See, there are hell lot of you know, editors are there. It's all you are comfortable and how you know, it's how comfortable with those editors you are. See, what I use is, since I use Linux and things like that, I use Sublime for my development activities. Sublime has a lot of, you know, features, you know, and then, okay, sorry. Just open some. Okay. It's very easy to, it supports a lot of file extensions. Okay, it's not only Python files, it supports C, C++, and you know, you can use some utilities in such a way that if you make some mistake, it will then and there it will find out and let you know. And what are all the indentation and there are a lot of plugins are available in Sublime. So I use Sublime, or otherwise I use VI. You guys know VI editor. It's a Linux VI editor, Emacs VI. So I use VI editor. It doesn't matter if you're comfortable with any of the editor, you can go ahead and use that one. And if you get a free time, just explore Sublime. It has a lot of exciting features, and it makes it saves a lot of developers' time. Okay. Okay, you guys have installed Python? Revant, Nagasai, and Indubushan?
Yeah, Indubushan here. I have installed Python 3.6.2.
Okay.
I have not installed 2.7. I will install that one, and Sublime I will install also. Post this session, I will install.
Yes, yeah. Sublime you can explore later, no problem. Just it's my choice. It's if you guys like it, you can use, and if you are comfortable with any other, it's you are free
simultaneously. I will learn a new tool also.
Okay.
Sublime.
Fine. Okay. Then let's get started with the basics of Python. See, how to launch Python is just you have to do Python. Okay, and if you do Python, it shows what is the currently installed version. It is showing Python 2.7.10, and even if it is a 3.x, it's okay, because in my VM I have installed both 2.x and 3.x. I think people who are on phone are unable to see my screen, so that is why today I'll go with that Python 2.7x only. But it doesn't matter, as I told, there are not much difference. See here. If you see 2.7.6, it's a 2.7. series. If you see here, it's a, sorry, if you do Python 3, it's a 3.4.x. Both are there. Fine. Okay, in today's session, let's talk about, some basics of data types. What are all the data types Python supports?
One question I do have, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you are setting it to a invert variable in Windows,
Okay.
then by default either 2.3, 2.7 or 3.4 will show up. How you are showing it both at a time? Means do we need to set invert variable in both side for both 2.7 and 3.6?
Okay, in my case, I've set Python 3 as a Python 3, Python 3.x, and Python 2. Series as a Python. Since two are two different, names, and both of them are in different, the directories, though they are under the same folder, but they have different child folder. Like Python 2.7 is installed in different path, and Python 3.x is installed in different path. So if I do Python 3, it shows Python 3. version. Alias have changed. In Python 2.x, if I run Python, it takes the older version, whichever installed first.
So means that is in invent variable, you have changed their name and the path, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope all of you have installed Python, and just to launch the Python session, what you have to do is just Python. You have to run Python, and it will show the version, what version exactly it is running, and what is the GCC 4.2.1. Any of you have any idea what is GCC and why it is showing here? See, as I told, most of the internal Python modules are written in C, so that needs to be compiled in the appropriate GCC version, right? GCC is basically C compiler, genome C compiler, right? So which version of the C compatible libraries we have installed, and then Python 2.x compatible glibc version is CC version is 4.2.1. Okay. And the way you see how, this is the Python shell, and as I told, the basic data types which are in Python are integer, float, and string, Boolean, list, tuple. Okay, so on. Just I'll explain one after the other in detail. See what is, okay, first let's I'll talk about integer. See what is integer. I think if you guys have any background in any of the programming language, you should be able to say it's integer is just a number, correct, right? Any of the number, it's a whole number basically. Assume if it could be 10, it could be 20, or it could be, it range from, based on the size of the integer, correct, right? So in Python also it applies the same thing. It is an integer. Integer means a whole number. See, only the difference in the C and here, right? There it is a basic data type. Since I told everything is a class here, so everything is object oriented. Since it is object oriented, integer is also implemented as a class which supports all the functionality of the integer as such. So what we can perform, what are the operations we can perform in integer? See, we can add, we can subtract, we can, we can do all possible math in integer, right? Say, okay, just to see that, see, this is the integer. In the Python shell we can do. See, if you do 10 plus 10, it is 20. Basically, it's a addition of two variables, right? Addition of two integers, 10 plus 10. And then what I can do? And say, for example, can I have a negative number? Yes, in integer I can have a negative number. See, this is, and what can I do? Multiplication, 10 stars, and I can do multiplication. See, and see, I have a negative number, and I have this is basically a sign, right? Negative sign or positive. How do I get the absolute value out of minus 10? What is absolute value? Basically, I should not worry about the sign, positive or sign, right? So there are operations. ABS, it's absolute, and if I do minus 100, it gives 100. Okay, and yeah, before jumping into this, just since you guys just installed Python, right? See where all the Python packages will be there. Question, right? Where and if you search some of the modules, and it uses, it searches in which path, basically in which path all the search will happen. So in order to know that, there is a module called system module. So the way to import module is you need to use import instruction. See, import sys, correct, right? I imported a sys, and how to print you don't have to explicitly say print, or if it's rvish. If I say print, that is also no problem. Just do sys.path. See, this is the path. All the standard Python libraries are there. If you do sys.path, it shows. And if you search, say for example, I did import sys, right? This is searching the sys package module in all these directories. If it doesn't find, it crypts saying, oh, sys module is not installed on your system, please install. Or appropriate error message it throws. Okay, and see, and what is a variable? Variable is, okay, just I'll give the brief introduction of variable. Variable is just a placeholder. It can hold some value. It could be integer, it could be a float, it could be string, or it could be anything else, right? But in case of other programming languages, before declaring the variable or during the declaration time, I need to say, hey, this is my data type. Okay, I need to declare int A or int B, float A, or something like that. Here, as I told, I don't have to worry about the giving the data type. It's a dynamically typed, right? Say I can give A equal to 100. That means A has 100, right? So what is the type of A? It is an integer. Okay, right? How do I know? See, there is one more type. These are the basic things. You need to remember this variable. It's a very helpful utility type. If you say type of A, it says it is int. And see, okay, now I'll come back to the integer part. Correct, right? What are all the possible operations I can do in integer? We did addition, we did subtraction also we can do. And we did multiplication, and this is the multiplication. We can do divide, divide operator, 100 by 10 is 10, right? And what else we can do? I can do, see, okay, if I do 2 star 2 star 2, what is 2 to the power of 3, right? So can I achieve power operator in Python? Yes. If I do 2 star star 3, 8. This is star is basically, using that you can achieve power operation. And see, I have a variable, right? Variable I have 100. Can I, change the sign to -100? Yeah, I can do. Just do -a. This is minus here. We can do that. See, and you guys, okay, just before that, what did I cover? I cover addition, subtraction, division, and power, right? And modulo also we can do. See, 100 by 100 modulo 10. What is the remainder I should get? 0, right? See, similarly, 100 module 9. Remainder is 1. Modulo operator is also there. And then, see, all basic maths we can perform. And say, for example, I have given 100 plus 100 star 8. Okay, 100 is a bit complicated. I'll use 2Z. Can you guess what is the output of this thing? 90. Okay. Yeah. See, okay. Why is it 90? And why is it not 10 plus 10, 20? 20 into 8 is 160, right? So why is it 90 and why is it not 100? Sorry?
It's already interpreted that you have applied the modulus.
Yeah, okay. And how about this 10 plus 10 star 8? Okay.
160.
160, right? So what is the precedence order? Basically, precedence comes to the picture, right? So this open brace and close brace, right? The parenthesis gives the first precedence order. And the second one is this power operator, I told, right? Star star, modulo operator. Then the multiplication and divide operators. Then addition and subtraction. See, this is the order you have to remember. See, one is the parenthesis, and then that is the power operator, and then multiplication, then multiplication and division are as both of them has the same precedence, and something similar to that, addition and subtraction also have the same precedence. See, and can you guess what is the output of 10? You guys know about ampersand operator by any chance? Okay. If I do 10 ampersand 10, what is the value of this? 10. Okay. And if I do 2 ampersand 3, what is the value of this? This is, okay, this is 2. I'll let you know how. See, okay, before getting into these details, just I would like, you guys know anything about the numbers, binary numbers, how to convert it to binary, and okay, people who are on phone? Revant? You guys have any idea on that, binary numbers, numbering system, what is, how to convert, decimal to binary or decimal to...
Yeah, you are, in the question here, you mean to say that base 10, base 8, octa, and base 16,
Exactly.
base 2?
Yeah, probably I can explain, no problem. Say, for example, how did we get the value of, two single, this is called bitwise AND operator, and 2 bitwise and 3 is equal to 2. Okay, if you convert 2, right, 2 is a decimal number, and then if you convert it to binary, what is the value? I'll get 10, correct, right? How did I get? Okay, I'll take some bigger number and explain. See, let's take some number 90, okay? Not 19, little lesser number, 21. So we'll do input here is 21. Okay, and you do quotient, and then you can think of it as a remainder. Okay, and we'll do 21 divided by 2. We will do integer division, not a floating point division. What is the value of quotient? It's a 10, right? And what is the remainder? I got 1. And then what was the last quotient? I got 10. Again, you keep on dividing the quotient till it's 0. Correct, right? So you do 10 divided by 2. And what is the quotient? I get 5. And what is the remainder? I got 0. Correct, right? So next step, if the quotient is still not reached 0, so I should keep repeating the step. So 5 divided by 2. So what is the value? 2, since it's an integer division, right? And what the remainder I got remainder 1. So again the quotient, did the quotient reach 0? No. So keep dividing it by 2 again. So 2 by 2 is 1, and then the remainder is 0, and then again the quotient is not at 0, so keep dividing it by 2. Now it reads 0, and the remainder is 1. Correct, right? Now, once this operation is done, you go from top to bottom manner, and then you focus only on the remainder thing. Bottom to top, sorry, bottom to top, and then you keep focusing on the remainder, and you don't have to think about the quotient. So what the this I don't have this one, it is not installed, so I have to manage with WordPad today. So what is the output I got? 10101. Correct, right? See, this is the binary value of 21. Correct, right? So, and similarly, I'll take tell me the another number. Okay, I'll take 8. Correct, right? So I'll keep repeating the same thing for 8. 8 divided by 2, quotient is 4, remainder is 0. Then 4 divided by 2, quotient is 2, remainder is 0. And 2 divided by 2, quotient is 1, remainder is 0. And then 1 divided by 2, 0, and its remainder is 1. So if I take this is the input 1, that is 21. The next one is input 2, that is 08. So what is the output I get? 1000, right? So just 0, 1, 0, 0, 0. Just to I'll correct, right? See, these are all the 2 binary values I got it. Correct, right? So now I am doing 2 and bitwise operator of 3. And then here, if you look at my inputs, input is 21 and then input is 8. So output should be 0, right? How did we get 0? I'm going to explain now. See, the binary value of input 1 is 10101 and binary value of input 2 is 01000. So in a ampersand operator, what we have to do is, if both the values, right, is 1, yeah, it's AND gate, exactly. See, if both values are 1, just the result will be 1. But here both the values are 0, 1 or 0, 0, right? See, here it's a 0, 1, the output will be 0. And here 0, 0 output will be 0. 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 So end result of 0, 0, 0, if you convert it back to decimal, it will come to the 0 only. So let's take another example, so I'll take, see, if you take 2 and 3, the value we got, 2 and bitwise of 3, we got a value of 2, right? How did we get 2? So we'll keep doing the same thing. If I do 2 divided by 2, this is the remainder, and 1 divided by 2, and this is the quotient. So binary value of 2 is 10. Binary value of 2 is 1 and 0. And what is the binary value of 3? 3 is, we need to do 3 divided by 2. 1 is the quotient and 1 is the remainder. And again 1 divided by 2, and then 0 is the quotient, 1 is the remainder. So I have to consider a remainder in a bottom up fashion. So binary value of 2 is 1, 1. Of 3 is 1 and 1. So what output we got? See, if I do AND operation on this binary, first is 0 and 1 we got as 0, and 1 1 we got as 1. So if I convert 1 0 to the decimal, I get the value 2. So how to convert this binary to decimal? That is the you might be confused, right? So here the value is showing as 10, but here the value is showing as 2. Okay, let me explain how did we get 2. See, this is right. If you convert from binary to decimal, it is what we do, we kept on dividing by 2, right? So you just remember the sequence from right to left order. Say 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, and so on. So how did we get this number? Since we divided by 2, here we have to kept on doing the in the power of 2. That means from right to left, see 2 to 0, 2 to the power of 0. Just I'll use R with tilde. Okay, I'll use this separator for this one. 2 to the power of 0, 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power of 2, and so on. So what should I do to convert 10 to decimal? So 0 into 2 to the power of 0 plus 1 into 2 to the power of 1. I need to do, correct, right? If I do this, what value I got? 2 raised to 1 is 2, and 2 into 1 is 2, correct, right? 2 plus 2 raised to
2 plus 0.
0 into 2 raised to 0 is 0 only, correct, right? So what is the value we got? 2. So if I do the binary representation of 10 is 2, and this 10 we got out of logical AND of 2 and 3. Guys, you clear, or you want me to explain by taking some other example?
Yeah, it was clear.
Yeah, clear.
Okay, fine. See, if I do, it is a bitwise AND operator. Now I'll talk about bitwise OR operator. 2 ampersand 3. I got 3. How did we get this number? See, the same thing. The only thing is, while till here, right? First, if I do this operation, I need to convert it to binary. That is the first step. Binary value of 2 is 10, and the second step, convert the decimal number of 3 into binary. This is the binary value of 3, 1, 1. And then what I need to do is, instead of in case of R, what I did is, if both are 0, both values are 1, we consider the output as 1. That is in case of AND, right? Now we are doing a logical OR. So in this case, what we have to do is, if one of the value is 1, consider the output as 1. So if you apply this rule to this one, 0 and 1 is 1, right?
Yes.
0 and 1 is, okay, I'll write it. So binary value is 0, 1, 0 is the input of 2, and then 1, 1 is the input of 3. And if you convert 0, 1 is 1, because one of the value is 1, and 1, 1 is anyway 1, because both of the values are 1. So this is the binary value. So I need to convert it to decimal, right? So what I need to do, 2 to the power of 0 star 1, then plus 2 to the power of 1 star 1. So what is the result of this?
3.
3 plus 1. Sorry.
2 plus 1.
2 plus 1, sorry. 2 plus 1. The output is 3. So that is how we got the value of 2 bitwise 3 is 3. This is the logical OR and logical AND operator. And what did we talk today? We talked about what are the basics of introduction of Python, and then what are all the data types. Just we talked about bit of integer. What is a integer? What are all the numbers I can store in integer, and then what are all the math you can perform. See, basic addition, subtraction, and all math we can perform on integer. And what is the precedence order? Precedence order is parenthesis, you take the first precedence, and then it's multiplication and division, and then addition and subtraction. That is the precedence order it follows. And division, right? Say if I do 20 by 1, it is showing 21 in my editor. If you guys are using Python 3, it will show 21.0. Correct, right? It shows the floating value. Because in Python 3.3, by default, if you divide, it considers it's a floating division. So how do you do integer division in case of Python 3? Yeah, you have to do 21 double digit and then 3. This is the integer division. And okay. See what are the other operations we can. Okay. There is a compare operator you can perform. See, compare 90, 80. If you see, the compare returns 3 values. See, if the first variable is greater than second variable, it says 1. And if first variable equal to second variable, it says 0. And if first variable is less than second variable, it returns negative number, -1. So if you do compare of 90, 100, it -1 because it's a first value is less than the second value. Okay. And the third one is compare 90 of 90, 0. These are the 3 values it returns. And then say, for example, assume the first value is integer and the second value is float. I mean, at this moment you can consider float as just as a fraction also, 90.1 or 90.2. If sir, newer system is not working. Oh, is it? Okay. Let me try. Okay. Okay, I'll find a way. I'll get back to on this. If you have Python 2.x, you can try out this. And
Python 2.7.
Okay. A few of the functions, as I told, they've deprecated in Python 3.x. This is one of them, I guess. So that is what you guys better have both 2.7 and also 3.7. We can talk both of them. Fine, then correct, right? So okay, and I think there is a see, if I have, say for example 90 and then 100, how do I convert it to a common type? See, this is the floating point number and this is the integer number, right? So there is a function called coarse. It basically convert two variables into a common type. It converted into floating point number. I think this also doesn't work in Python 3.
Will it on the basis of the first one or the second one?
No, it's not. You can say floating point here it takes precedence. If one of them is a floating point, it considers it converts it to floating point number. See, as I told, type is a very useful tool. If you do type on anything, right? If you say course is a built-in function method, that is what it is saying. So, and even if you do type on 100, it says integer. Type on floating point, it tells the exact type. Okay. Yeah. Since it's already reached 9, I would like to stop the session here. And I'll probably will continue from tomorrow. Okay, I'll continue on the same topic, data types, and I'll explain, probably how to convert. Now we talked about logical and logical OR, and then some basic math operation on integers. Tomorrow we can convert, how to convert from, decimal to hexadecimal, decimal to octal, and vice versa. And why I'm saying this math is first we need to understand on paper. So in subsequent session, we should be able to write a function to convert that. There are built-in functions available. Let's not use them. So we'll apply our brain to convert whatever we put on paper into the Python program. So that is the idea I have. Let's have more of a practical and interactive session rather than having one-way theory session. Okay, and today, since I think we started a bit late also, I think so. From tomorrow probably we'll start on time.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I have one small question. How can I have installed 3.6? So how can I avail these functions like course and comp, CA,
These are all
CMP?
not part of Python 3.x because it's been obsoleted in Python 3.x. These are all part of 2.x. You have to
So
install.
how can I avail in 3.6?
3.x. There are other ways we can achieve this. I'll let you know, because compare is just it tells what is the value of those two things, and then coerce is a function which tells how do I convert into the other type, right? Other in the sense which has more precedence. So I'll tell what are all the other alternatives we have in Python.x to have the similar functionality of compare and coerce.
Okay. So other methods are there.
Yeah, there is absolutely. Yes.
Which are having same functionality. Okay.
Yes, it should be there. Yes.
Or same function, we can do have any library to have the same functions available in 3.6, which you have already in 2.
Yeah, that is what, as I told, see, they would have deprecated these compare and these functions, right? Not only these two, they have deprecated a lot of functions. I mean, it's very difficult to remember all of them. So, but even that functions are deprecated, there should be a way to achieve those functionality in Python 3.6, or else it doesn't make sense to upgrade to the Python 3.x, right? So there are ways. I'll let you know. Just I'll make a note of all of them, and then I'll let you know in detail.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
So, okay, and today I would like to stop the session because it's already crossed 9. So we can continue tomorrow on the other topics, like I'll continue on the data types only, and probably tomorrow integer, float, and then we'll touch on list, tuple, and things like that. Okay, and one question I wanted to ask, and what is the comfortable time for you guys? Is it possible to come a bit early?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
7:30 can we make?
Okay,
If you
yeah,
guys have
Yeah, sure.
7:30, 9, it will be good, right?
Yeah, 7:39, perfect timing. Yeah.
Okay.
So tomorrow 7:30,
So,
right?
We'll base a little.
Yeah, that is what. No, since we can go a bit fast also, no problem. Yeah. So if it is 7:30, if it's 1.5 hour, we can cover more, and also we can park some time to take questions. Correct, right? So for you guys, is it okay for tomorrow to start at 7:30? From tomorrow,
Yes.
7:30.
Yeah,
Okay.
Fine then.
So tomorrow 7:30, right?
Yeah, 7:30.
Yeah,
Okay.
perfect. Thank you.
Okay, and other Hindu Bhushan is missing, no? Is there?
No, I'm
right?
here.
Okay,
I'm here.
Sorry. It was okay. And nobody has any concern, right, regarding the timings?
No, fine. 7:30 is fine.
7:30 is the
Okay.
best time. 7:30 is the best time. So can I avail more time for that and doubts and clears and all this. So we'll get the time and more time to study all this about. 7:30 is the
Fine.
good. Yep.
Yeah, great then. We'll start sharp at 7:30, plus or minus 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
7:30
Thanks a
tomorrow.
lot,
Yeah.
guys. Please let me know if you have any questions. Huh? Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks.
So what
This is VirtualBox one. This one, VMware VirtualBox.
I'm using the Oracle.
I had used Oracle. Then again, somehow I wasn't comfortable with that.
Yeah, that is a small window.
Yeah,
What was the name again?
it's a VMware version. I think it's a licensed version.
Excuse me, sir.
I think
Indubhushan
we
here.
can get it. There are ways.
Sir, Indubhushan here.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
I get that VM that you do have? Can I avail that one?
No, this is the Mac version I have.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
check because I installed 3-4 years back.
Yeah,
Years
if there is
back. I
Windows
don't remember
version,
exactly.
Yeah, if there is in Windows version pre-installed, then it will be very helpful for us. So whatever you are learning over there, we'll get immediately over here everything
Fine.
without
I'll find a way. I'll check out
without
and
going
I'll
to
let you know.
internet or searching any other. So we'll evaluate quickly.
Fine. Yeah.
Yeah. That pack is most probably. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, then we can stop the meeting, no? We'll pick up tomorrow.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.